Welcome back to another video. I'm glad you were able to take the time and click on this video. Again, as always, I appreciate it. I very much do. I don't know if that's a proper sentence. Very much do. Yikes. I want to talk about Connecticut COVID-19. Now, normally, sometimes I'll do it on a Monday. Most of the time, I try to do it on a Friday or on a weekend because the numbers don't change. But this week, I decided to do something a little different, and there's a reason why. Well, if you saw the title, you'll know why. Um, the title will be different on Rumble as it will on YouTube. Gotta get the message on YouTube. So YouTube, if you're watching, anyone who finds this video, please go to Rumble. The truth is easier. The titles well, I should say the truth is easier. I don't have to hide the truth in the video as opposed to the title. In Rumble, I can just say in the title exactly what it is. And again, eventually, I'll get banned from YouTube. Oh well, that's life. But if you're watching on YouTube, come on over to Rumble. We'll actually get uncensored truth, not by just me, but some other folks out there as well. All right, let's get into it. The reason I did this. All right, June 2nd was not today. It was Wednesday. I made a video on Tuesday covering the change from Friday to Tuesday. The reason it wasn't on a Monday was because it's Memorial Day and they don't keep the numbers on the holiday. So, on Tuesday, you'll see there was 8,247 deaths. I'm starting off a little differently for a reason. Wednesday, there was a total of 8,245 deaths. Wait a second. Well, that's confusing. It went down to, yes, Connecticut again had some COVID-19 resurrections. I would try to make the joke that this state is biblical, but it's not. I'm not sure how people keep on raising from the dead, much like dead people vote. You have to know this is corruption. So those of you, and I've said this before, if you are truly saved and a born-again Christian, you will not take the vaccine. You'll figure it out how to do it. And it's going to be tough, and it's going to get tougher. And I know myself and my family, well, when I say my family, I mean my wife and my boys, we're trying to get set up and prepared so we don't have to worry about those things. Will we have to lose our heads? Perhaps, but I don't think God's going to take out my kids. They're too little. But don't want to go off course and get all morbid on you. But we got to pay attention because the time's coming. And perhaps I won't have to worry and I'll be gone before I have to be forced to take a vaccine. And when I say forced, not going to do it. All right, so it went down 2 deaths here, and then it went up by 1 here. So what happened? So over here, you'll see I usually have the percentages. I always keep the percentages in each category. I didn't on all of them. So this was the same as Friday. And again, this is Tuesday's date. Friday. And then Tuesday, it was 151, which is the same as Friday. So everything literally was the same as Friday changing over to Tuesday. Or I should say this Wednesday was the same as the Tuesday's numbers. So, and we're up to 71.91%. Then you looked at Wednesday. This is when the change happened. In the 40 to 49 category and the 50 to 59 age grouping, it went down 1. But no more lives have been lost, and none came back. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 life was lost in the 80 and over, which is to be expected. Why do these numbers keep on changing? I'm going to get that in a second. So you see the percentage, 97.62 survival rate. And again, just a reminder, December 13th, mid-December 2020, it was 96.34%. So that's just a reminder. That's what it was. And now we're 97.62. Good thing we've got all those vaccinations out there, aka the death shot. Good thing, because it's doing wonders in the survival rate. I mean, they're just leaps and bounds better by percentage-wise. Not so much. Although it's going to get better. Well, Stephen, I thought you said it was going to, it's a lie and everything like that. Again, bear with me. So let's look at this for a second. I haven't done this in a while. Patients in the long-term care facilities. Out of the 8,246 deaths, 3,000, as I'm off camera, I believe, 3,880 were patients, and 5 were nurses. Remember, they talked about healthcare workers. Now, this is for mostly Connecticut. I can't tell you what they were talking about in every state. I know as a whole they said healthcare workers, and I looked at the Connecticut numbers, and that's where I went, huh, 5. All right, so now we have, as of June 3rd, 53% have been fully vaccinated, which is like 1.9 million, roughly thereof. 1.9, and the numbers have just dramatically dropped. But only half have been vaccinated. And even before we got to that 53%, it was already getting better in most cases. Again, this is not a problem. You know, I had this discussion the other day, and I think I might have seen a video also on someone talking about this. It's amazing how we're being told and lied to and convinced to give people, children, a vaccine shot, you know, just in case they get sick. Just in case. 99.99% survival rate. And you go back here, it was the same thing. And nothing really changed. We go through the numbers. You can go onto YouTube, get a lot of my other videos. Unfortunately, I didn't put them all here on Rumble. I should have started earlier, but I didn't. So, we see a 71.91, 71.91, 71.91. Again, percent survival rate among 80 and over, which is to be expected. So, 60.69, 96.83, 89.52. Same thing here, and the same thing here. I just didn't write down the percentages. Oh, boy. I sigh. You look at these numbers, and they're the same. And the best part is another resurrection. Now, I'd love to know if you're watching from another state, if you've noticed the same, if you track. And by the way, so, you know, a disclaimer for YouTube, this comes from the Connecticut Department of Health, as my whiteboard's not really in very well. Or not spelled. Not me. Not Steve's little bunker in the basement. Not the Christian guy's not hiding out in his basement just crunching numbers. Well, actually, he is crunching numbers. But these numbers come from here. So all I am doing is using their numbers to prove the truth. See, they just don't want to break down percentages. They don't really want to do this here. They don't want to show you these people who come back to life. Amazingly so. We've had, now, I think every age group to this point has come back to life. I know we had younger ones. Remember, if you watched before, that was a 4, then it dropped down 3. At least it's still a 3. This was a 9, a 7, and then a 10. Okay. Not sure how they did that. They really messed up on that one. If at least you're going to lie and fudge your numbers, don't make it that obvious. So, what are we learning from this? Now, I'm going to get to the obvious thing, but too obvious. What are we learning? You've been lied to. You see it all over the news. And this is kind of geared for the secular world, and the secular people know. There's a lot of them out there. But the problem I have is Christians. I have problems with many Christians. Sometimes I have to make sure I word it properly so no one gets offended. Here's the issue. People who claim to be Christians and followers of Christ, you know, Franklin Graham, Jeffers, really a lot of your pastors in the church buildings, who tell you to get the vaccine. They're leading you to hell. You see the numbers. I know somebody out there is going to say, well, I lost a loved one to COVID-19. You may have. I'm not doubting that you believe they have, but you don't know that. Not everybody knows that 100%. There's just too many people and too many stories out there. Like, they were told one thing and there was another, and it might have been, and then it's probable. There's too many gray areas that happen here. They didn't die of COVID directly. I mean, they had these other things, and then they get COVID. Now, you might be someone who knows someone who dropped just like that. I believe, and I wanted to look up the story, I never did. There was I learned it from my brother who was a runner. And he told me a story about, I think it was in the early 80s, there was the man runner, he was like 50, he was a great health, excellent health, just amazing health, and just dropped dead of a heart attack. Guy was a picture of health, from what I understand. So can it happen? Yes. But is it happening the way they're telling you? No, it's not. It's not. I don't know how much proof you need. I know that the secular world could be more, there's more atheists obviously in the secular world, but there's more a lot of agnostics. I need the proof. Well, how come with the proof you still don't believe? I don't want to go too far off the trail, but there are agnostics like that when it comes to God. He goes, well, I need proof there's a God. Well, will you believe? Kind of the same answer as atheists. Not all atheists, but some. So if you have proof, will you believe? No. Then what's the point of the proof? It has nothing to do with proof. It has to do with you. Not proof at all. Some people say it, but they don't mean it. And they say, well, give me the proof. There it is. There it is. Do you believe yet? Oh, you still don't believe. I didn't ask you to have faith in my numbers. It's right there. It's like if I could put little spotlights, little light it up, and whoa, If you're not convinced by now of the truth, then I don't know what it's going to take. Especially for you who call yourselves Christians, the professing Christians, and say that you're born again, you're saved. You're not. I'm just going to go ahead and make that judgment right now. You're not. You can't take all the evidence in the world and break it down and find out that it's nowhere near as deadly as you thought it was, by percentage-wise. I think it's now considered a third leading cause. I didn't even know that myself. I didn't get to those numbers yet. Brian Denlinger over there, he got to that first, and I think Jacob Thompson might have also. They got to those numbers before I got to them. I'm just kidding. That was a fake. But I saw that, and it didn't surprise me, because when I had looked at the numbers previously, I was breaking down for 2017, 18, and 15, and noticing the trend was upwards in every category. But here's your truth. Here's your facts. You don't believe them, then you're not going to believe anything. You're scared. You live in fear, and that's a sad place to be, because you don't need to be there. See, that fear is like an albatross around your neck. It's like weights, and it just kind of shrinks you down. I'm going to go lower before I'm off the camera here. Shrinks you and shrinks you. You take that off, and you can stand straight up. Your posture is better. Your spiritual posture is better. So enough with these lies. I don't know how much more I'll be doing these. I will only do them probably most likely once a week. Unless I see, these fake miracles start happening again, the resurrections, I'm going to point those out. I'll still keep track of them. But I will be talking about other things. I know I'll be doing upcoming video on Unix. I know, you didn't see that coming. Unix, what's he talking about Unix? Well, we'll talk about Unix. That'll be a conversation we're going to have in the Bible. Isaiah 54, I think it is. Someone correct me. Isaiah 56, 54, verses 4 through 7. Then Matthew chapter 19. But anyways, again, I go off track. You have the proof. Use this and realize the chances of you dying from COVID-19 are slim. And they always were. I want to talk about that again. I think there's roughly 700,000 senior citizens. That's who they were trying to scare the most, and then they went after the kids after that. 700,000. And let's look at these numbers here. I'm doing a rough count without my calculator, so we got 451, 67, right around 68,000. We'll call it, just be conservative, 69,000 cases out of 700,000 seniors. So we look at this number here. We know we got 3.5 million people in it. So you're still just and again, we'll be conservative. So at 10%, so it's gonna be 9 point something most likely. But 10%, see that? 10% of the whole population got COVID-19. Now you break it down. What we got here? No, that's not 8%, by the way. That's 0.0. 8%. 0.008, I'm sorry. The facts, the truth, other than the most important truth, and that's, again with this whiteboard, Jesus. Is that out of range? I hope not. Realize you've been lied to, you've been bamboozled, there's so many things going on. Why these cases, by the way, I'm convinced the PCR test has been now lowered back to where they were supposed to be, at 35. Interestingly enough, the man who invented the PCR test, Carl Munson or something like that, or please don't quote me, in the early 80s, 83, I don't know, right around that area. He also came out and said that he felt that AIDS, the HIV AIDS, was a lie. Weird. Interesting, isn't it? All right, well, I appreciate your time. Thank you for tuning in this video as always. And as always, God bless, I love you, and do not be deceived by the liars out there in this world. Good night.